Coming up on Build It Forward.
I can't even put my feelings into words.
Yeah, most exciting thing that's ever happened.
Then the reality is like, we're in Mexico.
They've got the courage. I can find strength in that.
I don't think I've even hit the ground yet.
Looking forward to the future, having a complete home again.
I get to give back, and that makes me feel really proud and happy.
My name is Paul Brandt. This is my day job. It's given me a great life. Like many entertainers, I like to pay it back, but I'd still like to do more. So my wife and I had an idea. What if we gave people the opportunity to help someone else and at the same time help themselves?
To give it away.
People should not be without a house. That just shouldn't happen in our society, especially when you see how much we have. And so I want people to know about that and to talk about it and to think about it and to ask themselves, what do we all deserve?
John and Kim rent a house in Calgary that houses 3 generations of their family.
Okay.
Their daughters are 17-year-old Katelynn and 11-year-old Desiree. Their grandson, William, is Katelynn's infant son. 3 years ago, they opted for the safer but costlier option of moving into the suburbs to help Katelynn overcome struggles.
Katelyn's had a lot of issues growing up. She wound up becoming addicted to crack cocaine at the age of 11. And that was really tough for us as a family.
After a couple of very tough years, Katelynn successfully completed treatment. But John and Kim knew the temptations in her old neighborhood posed dangerous risks.
We moved here from a pretty rough area because I didn't want to bring her back to the same elements. And she's been strong. She's been clean for almost 4 years. She had a beautiful baby boy in July who's an absolute joy. I would do anything for her. I already have, and I would do it again. I think my goals for her would be for her to just finish school and for her to be healthy and happy.
I want to go to post-secondary and I want to take social work. The toughest part would be keeping my head straight on my goal, and it's hard not to get distracted from that. I love about my mom, she's been through a lot, and just the fact that she stayed strong and didn't give up on me and she kept fighting for me is like, wow.
In addition to Katelynn and their 6-month-old grandson, John and Kim's youngest daughter, Desiree, also requires constant attention.
She has a lot of the autistic spectrum. She has social issues, she has developmental issues, speech issues, and she has a lot of anxiety and emotional issues. So we have to be really sensitive around what we do with her and make sure that we prepare her. Change is hard for Desiree, and that's why when we do move, we would like it to be more permanent for her.
It's tough trying to make sure that the rent is there.
We have more going out than we have coming in, and that's just to sustain living in this house.
I think that's an interesting thing.
This one piece will make 52 layers.
Watch on mobile devices or the big screen. All for free. No subscription required.
We don't have any savings right now at all. We have to use other resources sometimes to feed our kids and to help pay the bills. I mean, there's food banks that we can go to, and we've had to use over the last year. We love our neighbors, we love the area, but financially we can't sustain it anymore.
When it comes down to it, we need a home. We're just a paycheck away from the street, basically. I don't want my children to be in that kind of a situation.
Can we pay them in blood?
I don't think I have that much blood.
Seeing how much they work and how much they struggle it's heart-wrenching.
Kim has the only working vehicle, but she needs it because she has to take Desiree and pick her up from school because of her special needs.
With only one working vehicle, John's public transportation commute to his job takes more than 2.5 hours each way. That leaves him very little time to spend with his family.
I do upholstery. I've been doing it for about 26 years. I guess I'm pretty much at the ceiling as far as wages go. I'm working overtime to be able to keep up with a lot of the bills that keep coming in. And now that I have to take the bus, it makes it a little more difficult. But, I mean, it's part of the sacrifices we make.
Let's go, kiddo. Basically, these days I'm living in this van ever since I've had to start driving Desiree to and from school. And I only get 2 hours in between when I have to drop her off and when I have to go back to pick her up. I basically rush into the house, do whatever work that needs to be done at that point, and then I'm out again. It's my family that keeps me going, that's for sure. Just have to take it one day at a time, I guess. Deep breath. Okay.
Build It Forward has created a partnership between Habitat for Humanity Calgary and Samaritan's Purse, a non-denominational Christian relief and development charity. Habitat for Humanity helps needy families build homes of their own. Samaritan's Purse works in countries devastated by disaster or poverty. To earn a Build It Forward home with a low-cost mortgage, families put in 500 volunteer hours on their own house, in their community, and in a developing country. With Habitat for Humanity's help, I've been finding the right families for Build It Forward.
I think that we're all going to be amazed as we go along on this journey, just to see how much ends up being provided for us as we try and provide for other people.
They don't know it yet, but I'm meeting John and Kim in a very special location today.
We are at Lloyd's roller rink. I'm pretty excited about it. We're going to be surprising Kim and John here today. Apparently this is where they met initially. They've had a lot of dates here, anniversaries. It's a special place for them. We're going to reveal to them today that if they'll agree to come along with us to Build It Forward, that they've been chosen as one of our families. So it's going to be a pretty special time.
In learning more about Kim and John, it's been
incredible to me to see all the obstacles that they've had to overcome, dealing with difficulties in emotional issues, or having a child with special needs,
dealing with addictions issues.
Those are all very real issues that can be crippling to a family, and still they've plugged through.
They have no idea what's about to happen to them, and they are truly a well-deserving family for this program. It's going to be awesome.
I really felt a connection with this family as soon as I started to learn about them, and so I'm excited to get the chance to get to meet them and to share this great news. Kim and John, could you come to the DJ booth, please?
Is it my birthday?
Hey, guys.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
That was me singing, by the way.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm Paul Brandt. It's a pleasure.
Hi.
It's very nice to meet you.
You too.
I have a question for you guys. I was really inspired by you guys and by your story, and I want to know if you would be willing to join us to go to a developing nation, and if you would help us to help someone else while we're helping you, and to build it forward.
Awesome.
Is that something that you'd like to do? Would you build it forward with us?
Wicked.
Yes.
That would be so awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool with you too?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great. Well, I'm really glad, and I'm so pleased to get a chance to meet you guys, and I'm looking forward to getting to know you better and spending more time with you. You doing okay? You're not,
I'm excited.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot of work, but we're used to hard work.
That's right. This is something really looking forward to.
Yeah, most exciting thing that's ever happened.
What do you think about all this? Are you excited?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think it is achievable to have 500 volunteer hours. It would be a big struggle, but it's definitely worth it.
Thanks for agreeing to be a part of all this.
Thanks for having us.
I think that it's going to change your life, but I know it's going to change a lot of people's lives. That's good.
We wanted a home of our own for a long time.
The water was coming up so fast, just the time to grab whatever they had on, and they just left, right?
John and Kim moved to the suburbs to relocate their eldest daughter from a tough neighborhood. 85% of their income going to rent, bills are mounting. Now that they've joined the Build It Forward movement, that's all going to change. Today, John and Kim are visiting their future home for the first time.
Hey, man, how's it going?
How have you been feeling since the big reveal?
Oh my goodness.
I don't think it's sunk in yet for me. It's just like, this is freaking awesome.
They were the best people to qualify for this. I'm looking forward to going through the whole process with them and really seeing them get the happy ending that they deserve.
Once you told me they'd been nominated, I was just elated. Even when they don't have a lot to give, they'll do everything and anything they can to help.
Jordan from Bay West Homes reveals some exciting plans for the entire family.
It feels so good to be standing in this new neighborhood. Like, it's such a beautiful community, and I don't know, it really makes it more real.
This is what the front will look like. It's actually a really sharp looking exterior deck off the back.
Desiree, do you want to see the main floor?
Hey, Des.
Yeah. There's the bathroom and there's the deck.
It's gonna be big!
It's gonna be good!
A nice big master bedroom. Which one's yours, Desiree?
I want this one here.
Now, Katelynn, what I'll show you is we actually are gonna fully finish the basement.
Wow.
There's actually gonna be 2 bedrooms, so you and William can each kind of have your own space down there. It has its own bathroom in the basement, and then even a little playroom.
That's exciting.
That's very exciting.
Your own space. I'm really happy that they're making like a basement suite for me. It really gives me my own space and more room to parent my own son and become more independent and learn what that is to be an adult and a parent myself.
You know, I think about how hopeless their situation must have felt to them, but the reality is they would have been on the streets. They had no expectation for anything better. For their lives to all of a sudden change like this has totally turned their world around. What I'm excited about is getting to now extend this feeling around the world and do this with somebody else.
John is familiar with long absences. Once the family moves and his commute is reduced, he'll be able to spend more time with his family.
When Desiree was born, there was a point where we had to go to Red Deer. We were doing renovations on homes. The job ended up taking us 4 months. In that time, I missed a lot of Desiree growing up. It was tough on us, it was tough on me, it was tough on her. But when I came home, it was like I was a stranger, and that was hard for me.
So he can be sure that won't happen again, John is focused on getting the volunteer hours in so the family can start to build their new life. Starting on their own home is job number 1.
You didn't break anything, did you?
There's no way I'd ever call myself a handyman, but by the time I help out on the construction of John and Kim's Build It Forward home, I've started to get the hang of things.
I think John is going to do great. He's a great big guy, and we're going to be able to use his strength and his ability to work on projects and build. I've got a feeling he's just such an outgoing guy. He's going to make some really great connections.
Without Build It Forward, Kim and John would probably be in the same situation a lot of not just Calgarians, but Canadians are. You know, they're wonderful people, parents. They're constantly giving back to everyone around them. This is the way that I can honor them. The combined effort between all of us will get in the hours needed.
You know, Build It Forward and the Build It Forward movement have really started to catch on, and there are a lot of builders who've jumped on board. That's not the issue. Right now, what we're facing is Calgary has one of the healthiest real estate markets in all of Canada, so finding land can be a difficult thing. But I think that I know somebody who might be able to help us with all of this, and I think they'll be key to our success.
Tonight, Laurent from Samaritan's Purse will reveal where John will be going to Build It Forward.
You guys ready to find out where you're going, John?
Sure.
You're going to Mexico.
Mexico.
Yes.
John's past experience in construction makes him ideal for the project in Villahermosa, a city on a massive floodplain that desperately needs help rebuilding entire communities.
And the governor of the state gave us some land to build some homes. And so some people that used to live in shacks are now going to get to live in solid homes.
Nice.
I mean, look at you. You're a big, strong guy, and this is a big, serious construction project.
This is great. I can put it to good use.
You're going to put it to great use.
John's trip to Mexico sounds great in theory, but he's aware of one thing. Getting time off work isn't always easy.
You know, honestly, I got to admit, my palms were sweating a bit, and I really wasn't sure, you know, what to expect.
John and Kim were one paycheck away from homelessness. To provide a stable foundation for their family, they joined the Build It Forward movement, which means a commitment of 500 volunteer hours toward building their own home and in their community. John will also have to go to Mexico to build homes on safer land away from life-threatening floods. It means 1 week away from work. He's counting on his boss to understand what an opportunity this is.
What are you doing here today?
Well, got this here seat for the Y.
Oh, yeah?
Luckily, Bob is on his side.
Going to Mexico.
Yeah.
He used to come in at 4 o'clock in the morning because that was when he could come. I said, you know what, if you can come at 4 and quit at 2 or 3 or whenever you want to quit, just come whenever you can. Everything you give out, you're going to get back. I just have that feeling, give a little, sometimes it's going to come back.
Well, thank you for helping me out.
Hey, no problem. Well, I mean, he's great. He's got a great attitude. He's got lots of hurdles in his life, but I think he's getting over them, and he's getting obviously he's getting lots of help, and so it's good.
John's mind is a little more at ease now, but Kim is worried. She's going to miss her husband quite a bit.
I'll be marking my calendar each day.
You get to pick me up from the airport.
Yeah, I'll do that. I just don't want to drop you off. Somebody else has to take you. I don't want to say goodbye.
Owning their own home will also mean that their youngest daughter, Desiree, can have a pet. Animals are important for her development.
What used to help her before we moved into a home where we weren't allowed to have them was pets. We used to have a dog specifically for her. Her name was Serena. Desiree always felt really grounded when Serena was with her. We also had 2 little birds for a while, and the cutest day was the day that Desiree came home after school and said, "Mommy, I love my finches because they listen to my problems and help me." So once we move into our new home, we want to get a new pet for her, and we're thinking another dog.
Although John is focused on getting ready for Mexico, Desiree's needs are still a 24-hour concern. So I arranged for them to take a trip to the Pet Expo to do some preliminary research.
Today, we're testing to see if Desiree has any allergies to dogs, because every other dog she's been around before has been around cats or rodents, something that she's definitely allergic to. And I brought all of her medication with us just in case she had a reaction.
I get to see dogs and I get to ride a pony.
What Kim and John didn't expect was for Desiree's interest in dogs to be overshadowed by anything. She really seems to be responding well to the horses.
That's true.
Yeah, she loves horses, dogs. She wants a fish as a pet.
More so seem to have an intuition for kids anyways and special needs, so they seem to relate.
Have a lot of patience with these kids too.
Yeah.
Horses are wonderful. Oh, she's having an awesome experience. She's having so much fun. Because of her connection to animals, you cannot get her away from them right now.
All of that research I did paid off. I'm meeting with a company called Karma, a Calgary-based land developer I had in mind. They hold the key to the continuing success of Build It Forward.
And we're hoping that they'll be able to find enough in common with what Build It Forward is doing to say, yes, this is something that's important and something that we want to be a part of. We're looking for the places that we might be able to build these homes now, and thought about you guys first.
I think Paul is looking for something that works for the families, the needs in terms of park spaces and being close to transit and schools.
Honestly, I got to admit, my palms were sweating a bit, and I really wasn't sure, what to expect.
Just like I'd hoped, by the end of our meeting, Karma Land Developers joined Build It Forward. They've reduced the price of lots for us to build on, which ensures the movement can keep going.
It became really clear to me, and it made sense for Karma. It's something that they are really serious about, and that's investing in the community and making sure that they're doing things for the right reasons. And so I was really pleased to end up with the result that we ended up with.
John and Kim appreciate gifts with a personal meaning. John wants to bring something special to the family he'll be working with in Mexico. He chooses a piece of jewelry he made as a young man, inspired by his First Nations heritage.
I realized that I still had this piece, and I think that this probably best depict me being Native. It's been with me for quite some time, and it says something about me. It says something about my origins and stuff, and that I can proudly give it to somebody who might appreciate it. Sandra's coming down to pick me up.
Oh, okay.
At 4:20 in the morning.
Well, I'm glad you're being picked up and I don't have to drive you. I'd be drowning in the sea of my own tears.
John's big trip is just hours away. This is one of the most exciting things he's done in decades.
I mean, the last time I traveled, I was 19. I went to visit my friend in Texas, and
That was like the last time.
So you have any worries about this trip?
Just the water thing. You know, I make friends easy. I'm concerned about how Kim will handle it while I'm gone. I mean, I'm concerned about all the kids and how things will flow.
I'm gonna miss you terribly.
I'm gonna miss you. I'll be...
Just as we were getting ready to leave, he was not feeling well at all, and he threw up, and definitely we decided to have him stay behind.
Build It Forward has given John and Kim the opportunity to earn a low-cost mortgage on a home to call their own. At this point in their commitment to the movement, it's time for John to leave his family behind to help others in Mexico for 1 week.
Good to see you. Welcome here.
John arrives safely in Mexico, overdressed for the Mexican heat.
Yeah. Let's go outside. It's a little bit cooler outside.
Well, first when you touched down, I mean, it was you get hit by this humidity. It's sort of like a wall. Then the reality is like, we're in Mexico.
Like Calgary, Villahermosa has a great divide between rich and poor.
Of course, yeah, this is an upscale neighborhood. Kind of middle, upper class.
A lot of concrete, tiled ceilings.
And again, just common walls between houses, right?
Yes. This place is so different. It's metropolitan in some areas, and then just so different in other areas. Like really, it's surreal. I'm gonna meet a fellow. His name is Lorenzo, and his family. I understand they're multi-generational, just like the same situation that I'm in right now. I understand that they probably don't live in the best conditions right now. I guess it's really what I'm going to be checking out for myself.
Laurent introduces John to Lorenzo, a man living in one room with his 2 daughters and his grandchildren.
Hola, buenos días.
What is this?
John. Hola, Lorenzo.
Lorenzo.
Lorenzo, sí.
Where I am, it's snowing. I don't know if they know the snow.
Dice que donde él vive hay mucha nieve ahora. Hace mucho frío.
The language barrier is awkward at first, but John is so taken by Lorenzo and his family, it soon goes unnoticed.
All your grandchildren. Nice.
Lorenzo explains to John how thankful they are to be getting the opportunity for a new house.
I understand. I can relate.
After learning that Lorenzo and his wife sleep in hammocks while their children and grandchildren sleep on the floor, John is more ready than ever to dig in and lend a hand building Lorenzo's new neighborhood.
What can you say? It's just, you feel it. I can't even put my feelings into words. That's brutal. That is like, tough. These are so warm people. They don't deserve to live like that. We were never this bad off. There are times I thought, well, can we ever survive? And here's these people, you know, they just think, you know, they're doing it. They've got the courage, you know, they're able to do it. You know, I just hope I can find strength in that.
John won't be working in Mexico alone. I'll be doing my part for the people of Villahermosa as well. Just like our new lots in Calgary, the right land in Villahermosa is key to providing new houses here. Dan is a project leader for Samaritan's Purse in Mexico, and he shows me why families like Lorenzo's need safer homes now.
Here, this area is an area that was heavily flooded in 2007. This river runs through the main part of town. What they've done here, they set up a sandbar to kind of protect the water from going into a neighborhood with a lot of people living here.
And that must have been so terrifying for the people that are living, you know, right here next to the river to see those waters coming up and know that there goes their house.
The water was coming up so fast, just the time to grab whatever they had on, and they just left, right? Well, all the people that live in these shacks, you know, they lost their homes, and the only option would be to relocate them to an area higher ground where the risk of flooding is gone.
Most of the world lives differently than we do in North America, and for me, I enter into this idea, well, you know, I mean, everyone can choose the way they want to live. But the reality is that not everybody has choice. I come down here and I see more than anything the fact that these families didn't have a choice when that flood raged through in 2007. The only thing that they had a choice to do is try and save their lives or not. It's pretty incredible to see the determination of these families willing to get up every day and just keep pushing through and working through the aftermath of what they went through.
Back at home, Kim does some volunteer clerical work out of the house for Habitat for Humanity in order to build up the hours the family needs for their new home. You know, everybody who's a part of Build It Forward on our North American family side is going to be contributing in a huge way. They're left at home trying to just make do with, you know, everyday kind of things that need to get done. It's going to be a real investment for everybody involved. The families will be able to look back at that period of time and go, we did it. Like, we worked towards something that was really important to us and we all pitched in. While John and Kim's house takes shape in Canada, things take a turn for the worse in Mexico.
Just as we were getting ready to leave, he was not feeling well at all, and he threw up, and definitely we decided to have him stay behind and just get some rest, and he's just unfortunately not going to be able to go to the job site to work for the next few days. So I told Lorenzo, since John isn't here, I'm going to be your helper today, so what would I do if I was doing what John was supposed to do? So he's helping me just pass along some of the heavy blocks.
Pero sí estamos trabajando normal. Lo que pasa es porque así sí necesitábamos su colaboración, porque ya estábamos con la idea de que iba a trabajar conmigo.
As the day progressed, he was not feeling better. On the contrary, he was just feeling worse. And so we decided to take him to the hospital. And he was diagnosed with a stomach infection and a urinary tract infection. He's just been prescribed a whole bunch of drugs to take. And so, yeah, he's very weak. I wish he was better, but you know what? Those are things that happen. And what we need to do now is just make sure that he's fine, that he's rested, that he feels good. And we'll hopefully bring him to the work site. We won't have him do any work, but maybe he can just connect and at least spend some of that time that he was looking forward to having with Lorenzo.
It doesn't matter what country I've been in or what face of poverty I've seen. There was a breakthrough moment for me.
John and Kim are earning a home to call their own with their Build It Forward promise. Part of that commitment means building homes in Mexico on a Samaritan's Purse project. Just as John began to prepare for work there, he was struck with a crippling illness. He calls home to give Kim an update.
You don't even sound like you right now. Are you okay?
Kim's friend Elizabeth comes over to offer her emotional support while John assures Kim he's being well taken care of to ease her mind.
I've seen them go through trials and tribulations in life like everybody does, and yeah, I want to be her shoulder completely. Both of them. I love them both, and they're angels too, though. I've needed a few shoulders myself, so.
Do you want to say hi to Desiree? I mean, I know this is all good and the cause is great, and I'm really happy that he's doing this, and I'm really proud of him for doing this, but yeah, I do miss him.
Hola!
Desiree's been great. I mean, she misses her dad, and she talks about it and gets a little sad sometimes, but she's been really good with helping me around the house. She even helped me cook dinner tonight. Okay, sweet dreams, bye.
Not again!
Oh, I'm always a mess whenever. But I just miss him a lot.
The next day, Kim's friend Crystal offers to watch Desiree so Kim can get some community volunteer hours in at the Calgary Food Bank. Nolan, the director of food services, gets Kim set up to start packing emergency hampers.
It's kind of an honor for us to be able to bring somebody who has had the experience of being on the other side of receiving an emergency food hamper in to assemble emergency food hampers, because they know what that's going to mean to somebody who actually gets that hamper later. Last year, more than 140,000 clients came through the doors at the Calgary Food Bank and took out about 7 million pounds of food just through our emergency food hamper program. It's our most well-known program, and it's the most significant thing we do for the community.
Wow, it's just amazing. This place is huge, and it excites me so much that they help so many people every year, and that there's so many caring people in our city that donate their time, they donate food. Well, the difference is the last time I was here was to get a food hamper for my family. Tonight I'm here actually helping on the other end. I get to give back, and that makes me feel really proud and happy.
It's one thing that we maybe shouldn't have in our society is that stigma attached to it, because I've heard it referred to that we're like any other bank. Sometimes you make a deposit, sometimes you make a withdrawal. So in Kim and John's case, in the past, they've made withdrawals. Tonight, Kim is getting a chance to make a deposit for somebody else. I really see this as something that's going to change the trajectory of how they want to be involved in the community in the future as well. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Right on.
Heartbroken that he hasn't been able to help out yet, John forces himself out of bed. He's weak, but makes it to the home lottery. This is a system where the families find out which of the houses will be theirs in the new community.
I hear you've had quite the journey the last little while.
Yeah.
Thanks for braving it and coming out and doing this.
I had a kidney infection. Apparently I'd eaten, consumed something that disagreed with me also. And with the combined effort of those two elements, it laid me flat.
You're getting a little color back, so.
I'm glad Paul's here. It was great for him to be here to share this experience.
Samaritan's Purse developed a home lottery celebration to award the new houses to their owners. Each family gets a home, but they don't know which one they'll get until their names are drawn.
It doesn't matter what country I've been in or what face of poverty I've seen. There was a breakthrough moment for me where I looked into the eyes of a young father, and I thought to myself, that could have been me. There's absolutely no reason why I have the opportunities that I have and they don't. Why did I win this lottery? I think about that when I think about what we're doing with Build It Forward.
These people are so open. I hope I get the chance to stay friends with these people, and this is such a good thing. I hope it starts something bigger.
It's time to celebrate what this safer land means to these families. While John celebrates with fellow homeowners in Mexico, his future house is going up on schedule in Canada. Now feeling up to doing physical labor, John spends some much-needed time with Lorenzo, helping him work on the inside of a recently finished house.
This is where we're painting. When you drive by them, they don't look that big, but when you get inside, it's just amazingly well designed. And where I'm from, this is a hot day.
He has such an outgoing personality. He's a nice guy who cares about other people, and I think that this trip has exposed that to him. He's sort of started to realize how important it is to be here and to be giving back and to be helping the people that he's meeting. He's learning about the way that different people around the world live, and he'd never seen those kinds of things before, and that's rocking him a bit, but that doesn't surprise me. It's because he's such a great guy.
What are your dreams for your children, for your grandchildren?
Principalmente que estudien, que se preparen para que no pasen lo que yo he estado pasando.
With my family where we're living, the rent is so high. It's either I have to pay rent or feed the family.
O sea que está pasando una situación similar a la mía.
Sí, sí.
Para mí fue algo difícil porque cuando yo llegué a ese lugar, pero pues no me quedaba otra, no tenía económicamente para pagar renta en otro lado.
When I came here yesterday, I was feeling sick. When I saw the joy that everybody had, it brought me back. It made me feel 100%.
Qué bueno, la verdad. Pues esto es una experiencia que, la verdad, alegra y al pensar nada más en la situación que pasó toda esta gente que está aquí recibiendo su casa, también da tristeza, ¿va? Por lo que sufrió.
It's going to be a good thing for him. Where he's staying and the conditions he's living under, it's just surviving. The man has courage. I admire that greatly. Just put it in the right perspective, you know, your own life and the life you have at home.
How does that change things for you then going back? Does it?
It's really going to appreciate a lot more of what I got.
You think so?
Oh, definitely.
It's going to do a lot of really great things for him in his life because I think it's going to make him more self-aware. You know, beyond just the giving back and the building forward for him, I was really excited just to see the reaction that he had, willing to be so close emotion-wise to what was going on and what he was experiencing. He's one in a million. He's an awesome guy.
You can tell what a man is like by the closeness and warmth and respect of his family. That's when I knew your heart was full of love.
John and Kim are well on their way to earning a home with Build It Forward. 500 volunteer hours means an affordable mortgage. As John prepares to head home, it's time to say goodbye to his new friends. He sees how important his efforts have been.
When I first came to Mexico, I didn't know what to expect.
No sabía qué esperar.
You can tell when a man is like by the closeness and warmth and respect of his family. That's when I knew your heart was full of love and how important your family was to you. That is also when you became mi amigo, mi hermano. I too share the love for my family that you do for yours. You and your family will always have family in Canada. Mi family es su family. Please accept these gifts in the spirit that they are intended. As a gesture of my respect for you and your family, to remember our first visit.
Oh. Gracias, gracias.
Your gift for me was strength, courage, love, and hope. You brought me back to remember my humanity.
Unos lentes para ti.
So we could be brothers.
Gracias, hermano.
Thank you.
Que Dios le bendiga
God
mucho.
bless you.
Le aumente más sus finanzas.
As John touches down in Calgary, he's in for a surprise.
He thinks that he's getting a ride back home with the same people that he got a ride with, and instead I'm here to pick him up. I'm really excited to see him. It's been a kind of a long week for me, and I'm really happy that he's going to be home. You tell me when you see Dad.
Hey!
These are for you.
Oh, thanks. I came around the corner, the love of my life standing there was just, it was perfect. Love you. Oh, I missed you.
The change that I saw, particularly in John, is one that I think is going to make him stronger for the struggles that they have. He ended up seeing the world and seeing people in a way that has given him the tools to get through anything. Before long, John is working on the volunteer hours he needs to get the keys to his own house.
So what was it like over there with the people? People were very warm. They were very friendly.
It's clear that John's experience in Mexico and the time he spent with Lorenzo has made an incredible impact on him.
I was in tears. I couldn't put into words everything I was feeling. It was just such an emotional thing for me. I couldn't believe in this era, these people were living in this situation. But like I say, they have such a courage.
A group specializing in equine therapy hears about Build It Forward and contacts us with a special opportunity for Desiree.
We're gonna see some of the horses.
Well, our group is different from any other type of riding program because we deal with special needs children. And we're always trying to incorporate some kind of therapy with everything that we do. So she's going to have a riding lesson in her mind, but she's really going to be getting, therapy from this program.
It's not about learning the skill of riding. This is really about the experience.
You're going to have to use your muscles in your arms, press with the brush.
John and Kim are amazed at how well Desiree is responding to the horses. She's a natural.
And you always know it's on right if you can see his name. You got it?
Woohoo! It's the therapy, right? So it's another chapter in her development.
Perfect! All right, and Dad's going to make it challenging. So when you reach, you have to really be over there.
Oh, yeah.
Back. Whoa.
So how was it?
How was it?
Fun.
High tens. Hug.
In the spirit of building it forward, the group goes one step further for Desiree.
Inside a card is an invitation for you to come into our program for 6 weeks.
This is awesome. This is really great because, we didn't know it was going to be lessons. It was going to be great. I hope you guys are okay with hugs because...
Katelynn is also moved by the Build It Forward program and is committed to helping others in the future.
My son William, he really helps me to keep going and finish school as hard as it is, but I want to help girls who have gone through the same stuff that I have. It is important to give what I have, what I've been given, and share that.
With moving day fast approaching, John and Kim need to get busy packing.
All right. The packing, it's a process of packing, putting things together and purging. And it's a big change because, we don't need this anymore, or, somebody else can use this. Everything's changing suddenly, we're moving into a new place. I'm looking forward to the future and, just having a complete home again.
They're on a journey, and I think that it's been a real struggle for them at times. They've had a lot stacked up against them.
Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness.
Just a couple of months ago, John and Kim were at risk of becoming homeless. Forced into high rent in the suburbs, there were mounting bills and grueling commutes. It's been a challenging journey, but the family is finally able to reap the rewards of their hard work and commitment to build it forward.
We are at the Cranston Town Hall getting ready for the Habitat home dedication for John and Kim today. This is a culmination of all their hard work. It's going to be really great for everyone to see the family and hear about their journey into home ownership.
Build It Forward became an incredible community movement. And there were miracles that were happening through this every single day, and I think everybody involved can attest to that. When I think about you guys and what you have been through in this last while, all I can say is thank you for sticking with us.
We mentioned community several times today, and that's what it's all about. It's about, this most basic of human needs is to belong.
I don't think I've even hit the ground yet. I'm just overwhelmed with emotion. But to finally have a home is amazing.
They've learned a ton through being a part of Build It Forward. They've helped a lot of people. They're on a journey, and I think that it's been a real struggle for them at times. They've had a lot stacked up against them, and I wish them so much good.
Moving day is a new beginning. It's the start of putting down roots for their children and grandchildren.
Today is moving day. Yay!
Kim and I have been moving ourselves. Every house we moved into, we've had to move ourselves.
It's not the first time that we've moved in a blizzard in April, but it's the first time that we've had a moving company moving us in the blizzard in April.
Look at my room. It's almost all completely gone except for my bed.
See you later, house.
Yeehaw! 4x4 in the deep snow.
Yeah. Hello, house.
Aloha!
That's okay.
Right now it doesn't look like a dining room because there's no tables and chairs. Soon we'll put them in once our moving truck comes.
It feels really liberating to be here, and this is going to be our own home. This is ours. No more rent payments, no more paying somebody else's mortgage. It's all going into our own home now. Yeah. And that's an amazing feeling. And I'm really looking forward to not having to worry so much all the time about finances. That's a huge stressor for me.
The family is finally settled in and getting a taste of what they worked so hard to achieve.
To have a stable home, to have financial stability, a happy family. They've worked very hard for that. Now that we're not worried about finances and all that kind of stuff, we can focus on our family and take care of each other, and it's nice.
Now I get to drop by with a housewarming gift.
Paul is a wonderful soul, and he brought a hope chest for us.
I've been thinking through this whole process since I met you guys about what a meaningful goodbye would be, and to remember this journey that we were both on together. We had been talking along the way about different songs that I've done that might have meant something to you, and there was one that came up called I Meant to Do That. Hold on to the love you gave until the end of time, and love you more every day until you know that I meant to do that.
The song is significant because it's everything that you kind of put on the back burner. I've made many promises to my family that we're eventually going to get to where we are now.
You jumped into this without reservation, and you went through a lot to get to where you are. And my respect for you couldn't be higher. I wish you guys nothing but the best.
The tour was fun. I know you got to see Desiree's fish, Hector. She was really excited to show him that.
He looks pretty happy in there.
Desiree's fish gives her joy, and John and Kim begin to feel more stable.
I mean, we don't have to move anymore. That's something that Kim has always said, and something I've always wanted to give to her. Allowing me that opportunity to help with the people of Mexico. It's just an amazing thing. It's just really changed my life.
We're going to continue to volunteer. We'll probably continue to volunteer with Habitat, and if they need extra help, we'll be there.
Because I look at their willingness to get involved with Build It Forward and to look outside their circumstances to what's going on around the world. Really, when it boils down to it, they've chosen to choose the path of love. They're going to find amazing things are going to happen, because when you do that, you'll always find that love never fails.
For more information, visit cmt.ca/builditforward.